Hi. I gotta put a blade on my bandsaw. Y'all wanna hang out? Alright, so instead of just being like, this is my bandsaw and it's the book, I figure I'd just talk at you like if you were here, tell you a story or two. So I grew up a poor man. Now, I grew up in South Arkansas in a place called Prescott. Prescott, spelled just like Prescott, Arizona, but it's pronounced Prescott. And if you say it wrong, we know you're not from home. And not to be confusing, but it's in Nevada County, which is a lot like Nevada, the state. And it's down the road from El Dorado, which is a lot like El Dorado. Maybe we got some things backwards, but I don't know. Anyway, so what we're doing is we're putting a new bandsaw blade on my Grizzly 17-inch. It's what is it? The G, just opened the blade, got my finger. The G0513 17-inch bandsaw. Blade snapped the other day while I was running it. Quick tip: if you're running the bandsaw and you hear it start going ding 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 ding, move your fingers back. It's about to break. But so fun fact about Prescott. There's a story about this guy named Old Mike. So I'll tell you a story about Old Mike while we're putting this bandsaw on. So Old Mike was a pencil salesman. Yeah, a pencil salesman. Dude just sold pencils. Back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, I guess too. But Old Mike, he used to come to Prescott and he would sell pencils to all the people that are in town. Well, he died in 1911 and he didn't have any like kin in the area, didn't have any, like nobody knew who he belonged to. So they put him up in the funeral home and they just kind of waited because they figured eventually somebody will claim him. Well, you know, back in the day, like if you've seen on old westerns how they would prop you up in front of the funeral home when you died, like to let you lay in your casket. Well, they did that with old Mike, but then nobody claimed him, so they just left him. They just left old Mike, just left him there. Dude stayed there for like years and years. Finally, they're like, well, I guess nobody's gonna come claim old Mike. So they just put old boy in the closet. They stuck him back in the closet where he stayed until like the 1960s. There's people that I know personally that they used to get bored when they were a little kid and they'd go see old Mike at the funeral home. They kept him in the closet for years. This poor old pencil salesman ain't got any family. They just left him laying in the closet. So, I guess I ought to tell you what I'm doing. Put the bandsaw blade on. First you gotta pull, there's a little pin. You pull it out of here, slide your blade in, and then you just kind of work it to start. Just kind of work it through the little guide. Keep it on that top wheel, and then just kind of tuck it in. Oh Mike, they eventually buried him. And I know, like, there's a lot of people I've told the story and they don't believe me. You can Google it. I'll put a link in the description. And it just blows my mind. I don't think that would happen these days. Anyways, so the blade's on there. What you want to do now is I'm gonna go ahead and tension it back up for a second. And there's probably 8 million different ways to do this. This is just how I'm doing it. So if you think I'm doing it wrong, that's fine. I don't care. You can tell me how I can do it better. I'm gonna go ahead and shut these for now. Let me bring you in closer. This next part you want to loosen up and get them blade guards out of the way for you. So, where's that? blade guides. Loosen these up. And get all this out of the way. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do the flutter test here to tension this blade up. And you don't want these in the way to do that. All right, so what you want to do, get those blade guards out of the way. And then you can see, I'll show you a better picture in a minute. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do the flutter test. So what that is you turn the bandsaw on, you watch the blade kind of dance, and then you tighten it up until it doesn't do anything, and then you back it off a quarter turn. All right, so the next trick is getting the blade guide styled back in. So what I do, take a piece of, there's a few ways you can do it. They say the crisp dollar bill trick. There's a like business card. There's a bunch of, I learned this one on, I think it was Rockler. Sometimes they post stuff on the Instagram of tips and tricks. So put you some blue tape on there, put 2 layers. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get those blade guards to where they touch the tape. Let's go ahead and put 3. Put 3. You know another weird thing about the old mic deal? They did a play about it. Like I'm not talking about like the 70s they did a play. No, like it was like 2015. They did a play about this old man in a broom closet. Eventually they buried him. But man, times is different back then. That's a weird deal. All right, so bring this back down so we can see a little bit better. All right, so now we got the section of the blade that's got the tape on it, and we're just gonna bring those blade guards in until they touch, tighten them back down. All right, that's it. We're back up and running. She's working. Now y'all know the story of old Mike. So let me know what you think. I want to know what weird stories y'all have in your hometown. Every town's got to have something. Garden Light. Y'all ever heard of the Garden Light? Look that one up. Or there's one little bridge where you put baby powder on the back trunk of your car, and then you stop on the train tracks, and they come out. There's handprints on the back of it. Anyways, tell me your stories. And if you are from Prescott, tell me your old Mike story. Anyways, let me know if y'all like these goofy stories and teeny tiny bits of information. So, see ya.